Hi everyone, good morning.
Good morning, Ramya.
Okay. So, any questions, any doubts till the topic that we discussed yesterday? Okay. So, yesterday we discussed about two ways of identification. One is by identifying by using its properties, and there we came to know that we have to make use of the technical properties of the element. And then if you see that any property is going to change, if you cannot understand something, it doesn't make sense. Or else if it has numbers also, numbers means those are the parts which keep on changing. Don't ever trust numbers, properties. Okay. So whenever you see some properties like this with numbers or that doesn't make sense, usually you handle it by keeping a wildcard over there in the place where the particular property value changes. That is nothing but a star mark. And the other way that we observed yesterday is by using the anchor tag. It is nothing but taking a nearby control which can be uniquely identified and using it as an anchor to this control. And when we identify by anchor, we usually get an additional property that is relative ID. And this relative ID will have the details of the anchor tag. These are the two things that we observed yesterday. Today let us scan some more controls and see how can we identify them instead of these two ways. So do a shift and right click on the demo webshop folder so that the new module comes and gets created under it, and then say scan HTML. And one important thing, I don't know if you observed this or not, if you are trying to scan something using XScan window and you have anything relevant to this XScan open, try going to your Tosca commander and see. You cannot work on it actually. Until unless you close this, you cannot work on your Tosca commander. Okay. Now I'm just going back to my regular one. So here and here, double click, and now the same way, say select on screen, scan some controls, books, computers, electronics. Hold on. Admit. Select on screen, register, login, apparel, awesome, book, this, gift cards, jewelry, distant downloads, apparel and shoes, comb, shoes, okay, manufacturers, okay. We selected some random controls. Now, One second. Okay. So now we selected these random controls. Out of these random controls, apparel and shoes is the one which is not uniquely identified. So now think like we are unable to identify this control uniquely by using the properties. And also we did not find any anchor control near to it. So then what is our third approach? The third approach is nothing but identification by index. What do I mean by identification by index? For suppose, think like you are staying in a villa, okay, and your community has some 20 to 25 villas which are very much identical. So if I want to come to your place, like how do you suggest it? You'll say like come to the sixth building or come to the fifth building. So among the set of identical buildings, you are giving yourself a number. Am I correct? So among this group of identical buildings, you give yourself a number like 6. So for suppose, if they construct a new identical building ahead of you, like before your building, so what will be your number again? Will it change or will it remain 6?
Same.
I am repeating once again. There are some 20 buildings which are very much identical. You are staying in the 6th building. Now they constructed another building which is like positioned ahead of you. So that means now earlier there are 5 buildings before you. Now there are 6 buildings. So what would be your number?
7.
7. That means your number has been changed, right? But if they construct after you, your number remains the same, right? So this positioning
Yes. Yes.
is what we do in the identification by index. What it means is among this selected set of properties, now we will select some properties. These are the controls which what do you mean by non-unique? There are multiple controls which are having same set of properties. So among this selected set of properties, among these non-unique controls, this is your index position. That means if there is any other control that comes up with the same set of properties, obviously our ID position will change. That is the main disadvantage of the identification by index. I will show you here. For suppose if you take this apparel and shoes only, what are the properties that we selected here? Tag is A and inner text is apparel and shoes. And it is saying it is a non-unique. Means how many controls are there? We don't know. Let us see that. So all you need to do is identify by index. So when you do, see what does it say? This is the second control out of 2 controls. There are 2 controls which are having the similar set of properties. Among those 2 controls, this is the second one. For suppose I did not select this inner text. I selected only one property, that is tag as A. So now let's see what will happen. See, there are 95 controls which are having the tag property as A. Among those 95 controls, yours is the 34th control. Did you understand identify by index?
So total we have a 95 controls.
Yeah,
In that
there are
95 control, the control is 37. Yeah.
34th one is our control among this 95.
Okay.
Okay, and now if you want to identify it, you can just click on this checkbox and then you will get, see here, index. This control uses a control constraint index for identification. So you will get an additional property here also, that is constraint index property they call call it. And what is the value of this constraint index? Whatever number you are seeing here in the first part, right? That comes under the constraint index property. Now let's see this one. So what are the properties it has selected? Tag is A, inner text is digital downloads. So it says there are two controls and this is the second one among those two. So simply just check box this and then it will be uniquely identified. Okay. And the last one is identification by image. So whatever we do here is we will just click the control image. So I will just go to identification by and then click on this image. So see, immediately it started clicking some image automatically on its own. And now if you want to identify by using some other, like you can just click on this plus icon and you can also go and click on this image. So all you need to do is just click on that image, jewelry, and then select it. It will ask you, do you want to consider images? Just say no. I'm just showing you this as an example. We don't want to use that. So just keep this image. We identified by using the image. Okay, these are the images that this control has. And if you see, usually when you identify by index, when image, it will calculate the screen resolution. The current screen resolution, whatever I have is recorded here, and also the accuracy of my screen, and also which method did I actually scan this image, like by using full screen or not, and what is the offset position. Offset position is nothing but the x and y coordinate position. So all these things will be used. In real time, we never ever go for identification by image. This is only good to know thing. Okay. We never go because sometimes our screen resolutions may not match, sometimes our accuracies may not match. So then again, it should not be a problem because of it. That is the reason mainly we will not go for identification by image. See, you got an image icon here. The control uses one or more images for identification. Okay, this is how we identify by image. And the next one is, so these are the additional two methods that we have. So now let's just go over here.
Doubt.
Yeah, please tell me.
If I take the index, now it is showing out of that 90 or something, this is the 31 apparent shoes. In future, if the index value for this it is changed to something 40 like that, it will automatically update or it will fail the at that point.
It will not update.
Okay.
We have to change it from our side. Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, so now we are done here, and now I am saying finish screen, and then I will just say close, and then I'll show you the additional properties that we get. We took apparel and shoes, and with identification by index, see it got an additional property, that is constraint index, and the value is 34. And now this one constraint index value is 2, and this one is the image. So that is the reason it got a scrolling behavior. Okay, this is nothing but, do you need to scroll top or do you need to scroll bottom, or is it somewhere in the middle area? So currently I took jewelry, right? Jewelry is something which is in the middle. I did not scroll anything. So that is the reason it is having scrolling behavior as center. Okay, and then here it got the image of this particular one. Some image it got, jewelry image only, some just chopped off one. Yeah. So this is how we identify by index and image. And now, as Ganga asked, I am repeating my point again. For suppose if your control in index position changes, then there is a problem that these controls might be creating an issue. In our real time application also, we had couple of options, like we had a huge menu which is having different options on the top. Okay, like one icon we have for save, open, create, split, some document upload and all this. So then we used identification by index, and suddenly our developers one day they changed the order of these icons, and they did not intimate us. And whenever we started executing our test suite and all, everything is getting failed because of the misplacement of the icons. Like instead of clicking on save, it is going and clicking on document upload. Instead of clicking on document upload, it is going and clicking on the splitting the jobs. So it is totally misbehaving. So then we came to know that this order has been changed, and then again we have to manually change the order, like going to Tosca, and again we changed the index positions of our controls. Only then it started working fine. If you know that this order has been changed, you need not depend on anybody. Like you can directly come over here, go to this constraint index and change this 34 to 40. That's all, nothing else. If you don't know that it is changed to 40 or not, then again you have to do, there are other options which we discussed, like either a rescan or a totally new scan. Is it clear?
Okay, Anya.
Okay, just give me one moment, please. Okay, I'm sorry for that. Yeah. So now we know what are the four ways of identification. This is one of the most asked interview question. Like they ask you what are the four ways of identification, and also they ask you from the priority order. If anybody asks you from the priority order, the order is first we go for properties, second we go for anchor, third we go for index, fourth we go for the image. So now let's take a test case and start automating it. So the test case that I want to take is registration of a new user. Okay. So in order to register a new user in this demo web shop, what are the things that I need to create? First, I need to open the demo workshop URL. And then my next test step is nothing but clicking on the register button over here. And the third test step is to fill the form and then click on the register button below that. And then finally, you have to validate the success message that you get after registering a new user. And also you have to click on the logout button. So what I am doing now is, until now we discussed about the different identification methods, keeping them apart. Now let us pick up a test case that is nothing but the registration of a new user in this demo website. Okay. And for this new user, like for this particular test case, what are the test steps that we have? First, we need to open the demo web shop. Then we need to click on the register button, and then we need to fill the form and then click on the register button over there. and then validate the success message that you get, and then click on the logout button and then close the browser. So these are the different test steps that I am including in my test case. So for today and tomorrow, let us start automating this test step and complete it. Okay. So first let's learn the very hard coded way. So in order to kickstart the process, first let's see what are the things actually we need to scan. Like where do we have the usage of modules here? Like for opening the demo web shop, do we need to scan some module for opening a URL? No, we already have a standard module for that, right? That is nothing but Open URL standard module, which we saw during our first three classes. The second one, what do you need to click on? You need to click on this register button. Do you need to scan it?
No.
Yes,
Yes.
we need to scan this. And then we need to fill the form and then click on some other button on the application. Yes, we need to scan these two things as well. And then we need to validate the success message. Yes, we need to scan the success message. We don't have any standard modules for it. And then click on the logout. Even logout has to be scanned. And then finally, closing the browser. Do you need to scan the closing the browser process and all? No, we have a standard module that is close browser for it. All we need is use those standard modules. So now let's start scanning the things that are needed for our test case. Okay, so here I have my demo web shop open, and here I'm starting the process like by clicking on shift, right click, scan, HTML. Select the application. And then I'm just keeping this here, say select on screen. So here is the register button that I need to scan. So I'm just scanning this register button, login button, shopping cart, wish list as well. Because these four are together and they form like a set, right? Usually, if you have any work with single control also, for suppose you have work with only this excellent radio button, but still the recommended or the best practice is to choose all the four radio buttons in your module. Might be you are not using it at this point of time, they might be useful at later point, so better scan it and keep it ahead. Okay, so I just scanned all my four controls which are looking alike. Okay, and now let us see what are the properties that are selected. And see, for register we have tag property and inner text has selected. Okay, fine. The next one is login. The same way, the tag and the inner text are the ones that are selected. Shopping cart, we already know, right? Here we have a number, so instead of number we need to keep a star mark so that it accepts any value over there. The same story with the wish list as well. So instead of this number, keep a star mark over here so that it will accept any number in that place. And once done, just click on this finish screen. So if you want to scan another screen immediately after completing that one, so immediately you can click on this scan screen and start your next scan. There is this option. Okay, so it depends on you if you want to immediately start, or else you can just close it. Okay, now I have one question for all of you. See here, what is the title of this page that we are in? Demo web shop. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you have all these four options here in the demo web shop title. Now, what is the title of this page now? Demo web
Demo
shop
web shop
dot apparel and shoes.
shoes. Yeah.
but still you have all the four controls. Now, demo webshop dot jewelry,
Jewelry.
but still you have all the four controls. That means if you are scanning these four controls, what should be the title of your module be like? Because the same demo web shop or demo web shop dot jewelry or demo web shop dot apparel and shoes, anything after demo web shop is coming up. So how, what should be the title of my module?
Demo version.
Demo webshop star.
Demo web shop star, because after demo web shop you don't know if something comes up or if something doesn't come up. How can you see it is, just click on the module, open the properties menu, and here at the bottom you will see the title option. If you click on these three dots here, you can change it. So you can change it to demo web shop star. So that means if you have demo web shop alone, it accepts. If you have demo web shop dot something, it accepts. So all together you can have a single module for all of them. Okay, so this is how we work. And now, what is the next thing that I need to scan? Now I scanned my register button. This is done. The next one is I need to scan the form and also the register button in that particular form. So let us open it. Click on this register. Yeah, this is the form I'm talking about. So scan this. So before that, we need to see every time whenever we scan, when depending upon the title of the page, your module will be created. Okay, and it's your responsibility to change the module name accordingly. So here you have these four options. I will name it as top menu. Okay, anything that is up to you. You can choose your own name as well. Okay, so just double click or click multiple times on this name. So it will become editable, or else the shortcut is F2 button, same as in Windows you have, or else you can right click and here you have a pencil sort of an icon, right? That is the icon for the rename. So you can click on it and change the name. Okay, and the next important thing is always ensure that your attribute names are not having any special characters in them. Okay, so just remove if you have any special characters, or if something that you want to change, you just change it accordingly. See, okay, so this is the one I changed and this is how I want. So it depends on you, just remove those special characters, but ensure you are not having special characters, especially the dots. Okay, it will be problematic in the later part. I will tell you when and why as well. And now let's start scanning the other pages. Shift right click, scan HTML. Just double click on this. And now I will go to condensed mode and scan these things. Yeah. So male radio button, female radio button, first name, last name, email, password, confirm password, and this register button. Usually, when I am scanning these things, right, usually what I observed personally is whenever I ask people to scan something, what they do is they usually scan the things which are the labels that are present over here instead of scanning the actual things that they need to edit. We are going to enter our values in this position, okay, but what people do, they start scanning this first name. Okay, that is nothing but a label. You are not going to change anything in this area. This is not an editable area. The area which you want to edit is this one, so please scan this control. Okay, while scanning the male and female radio buttons also, these are the buttons that you need to scan. So scan the ones which you want to edit or which you want to perform the action on. For buttons, you want to click on it. So click this, scan this button. Here you want to input some value. So scan this text box here. Okay. And now let's go and see what are the properties that you got. I'm just maximizing and then I'll pull this here. Yeah. So this one has got an ID and the tag. ID is gender male, tag is input. Similarly, gender female, tag is input. First name and the tag is input. Last name tag is input. Email tag is again input. Password input. Confirm password input. Register button input. Now just click on this finish screen and then close this. And then come back to our Tosca commander and I'm just checking over here. See here I have so many special characters included in the part of the name, right? See, all these have the colon as the special character. For suppose you have you scanned some 50 to 40 controls in your module, and all those 50 to 40 controls are having special characters in them. So if you go to each control and start editing their names, it will be very difficult for you. So what do you do in that case? All you need to do is select the controls, whichever are having special characters, or else you can select all the controls as well. There is no issue. And all you need to do is just right click on them and then you will have an option modify. In this modify, you will have an option name because now we want to modify the name here. And usually when you click on this for the first time, you will see some screen like this. Modify attribute name, replace with a small box and then use regular expression, modify all, cancel. Click on this use regular expression. So here what we are going to do is we are making use of our regular expressions in order to modify the properties of these controls. And the property now we are modifying is the name property. So what is that we need to modify here? We need to look for colon and replace it with nothing. So see, I just gave directly the colon and replace it with nothing. Currently, the value is so and so, and the new value will be so and so. This is what is showing up over here. Just click on the modify all. See, modifications are applied to 5 objects. Say OK. See, all the columns are gone. This is how easy you can work with the modify option. For suppose I want to append something or I want to prefix all these things with some value that I want. Okay, the shortcut for the modification is Control M and then now we are want to change the modification of the name. So just press on Control N here. So then it will take you to modify attribute name. Okay. And for suppose you want to prefix all these values with something. So just go to this support and see the regular expressions. For start of the line, what is the regular expression you have? Cap character. Similarly, for end of the line, you will have a dollar. So here, if I say like cap, shift and 6 button and just say Ramya space, see whatever value I give, it will come at the prefix position for all the items that I have selected. In the same way, instead of cap, I give it as a dollar here. That means end of the line. Okay, see at the end it went Ramya. Okay, or else I'm giving some other value. Okay, like I'm giving it as A to Z. See, so the first word of this have been changed. Okay, so the F is the first word, so that has been changed to Ramya space, and then the same because I gave only one character. That is the reason we got this. Okay, so this is how you can play around with the regular expressions, and if you have any doubt with regular expressions you can directly click on the support button, and here you can see the regular expressions for all of this. Okay, and now what can be the name of this module here? This module is nothing but the registration module. I can name it in that way, right? So that I can understand. And now tell me, should the title registration of the title registration module is demo webshop dot register. Should I change it or should I keep it alive? The same.
Yeah, we should change it.
Should we change or no need? No need, Ramya.
Yeah, no need.
Yeah, no need. Because we will not get this register options in other pages. You will get this only under the demo webshop.register page. Okay. So now the next step is we need to scan the success message. I'm just giving some dummy characters here. Okay, so this is the success message I got. Your registration completed. And also I need to scan this logout button and the email ID buttons that I have. So let us scan them. So again shift right click scan HTML. Double click on this application. Say move this here and then say select on screen. So my email ID, my logout button, my your registration completed message, continue button. I think these are more than enough. So just go here and look at the properties. So here you are saying this is the email ID. So will the value of this email ID change or will it remain the same?
It will remain the same, right?
It will change.
It will change because you may register with different email IDs
Okay.
and you may log in with different email IDs. So what is that I need to do here instead of this whole content like the text? What should I do? Star mark and just say okay. Now it became non-unique. So what else do I have so that I can make it unique?
We can add anchor tag.
First look for the properties if you have any. We have a class property, right? That is a con.
Class name.
Yeah, I select
Class.
that, but no, it is not becoming unique. Anyways, so what else do I have? In inner HTML also the same email ID, so there is no use of it. And outer HTML also I don't think that's no use because see the same email ID has come up and the class name account the same whatever we selected already. So now what we need to do is we have to go for the second option, that is anchor.
Identify by anchor.
So now what is the control which is nearby and uniquely identified? Logout button, right? We already have our logout here and logout is already uniquely identified. So then we can use the logout button as an anchor tag for this, correct?
Yes.
So just say identify by anchor and then directly pull this logout and drop it here. See, now it also became unique and with the help of the anchor tag. You can change the names of your attributes even here as well. Okay, so directly I give email. Okay, logout, and then this is the your registration completed. Sometimes what happens is they give lots of spaces. See, look at this inner text. Because of the spaces, this your registration completed has went down. And if you look like this, you think like your inner text is actually blank. But if you click on it and open it, then you can see that it is present inside. Sometimes it will be somewhere at the bottom also. Okay, even then please check for the spaces and then see. Control A you can do and see if there is something present inside it or not. And then you can remove the spaces. That doesn't make any change actually. Okay, so this is the inner text, but this is still not unique. So then select the class name, that is result, and now see it became unique.
Mm.
And the next one is the continue button. Here it has the value property, and the property value has value as continue,
Continue.
and tag is input. So we are done. Now just say finish screen and then close it. So now actually, where should I keep these two buttons, email and logout? If you see this email and logout, wherever you be, not, depending upon the same way, whatever we thought for the register and login buttons, the same thing applies for my email and logout buttons also. Am I correct? These have to be part of top menu actually. So all you can do is select these two controls, do a control. We all know what is control X, nothing but our cut. Or else you can right click and then say cut. Cut them here, go to this top menu module, control V over here. That means you can paste them over here. Or else you can right click and then say paste as well. Okay. So now,
Ramya, your voice is breaking. It is not clear to me.
yeah, one moment. Is it clear to everybody or everybody else are facing the same issue?
No, there is a lot of background disturbances there, Ramya, from your end.
Not clear.
Sharvani, can you go on mute? I think the disturbance is because of your audio. Yeah, how about now?
Yeah, now
Okay.
Okay, cool. Guys, please mute yourself. If you have any questions, only then unmute yourself. Okay, so now what I am telling you actually is these two controls are to be part of this top menu. So that is the reason select these two controls and then right click on them and then just say cut, which is nothing but our normal cut that we do from files and folders and all. So cut them over here, go to this top menu and then do a control V, or else you can right click and then say paste. So they will be pasted over here. Okay. Is it clear to everybody? Any questions? Any doubts?
Yes, Ramya. In the registration module, we didn't fill the form, right? Means we just captured all the elements,
Yes.
but yeah.
We did
So
not yet work on the actions yet. Like we did not create the test cases. Whatever actions that we want to do, like filling the form or clicking on the buttons and all, you need to do it from the test cases section. We did not yet come over there.
okay, okay. Then.
Yeah. So today we just captured all the required things in order to build a test case. So tomorrow, let us see how can we work on the test cases section. Any other questions? Any doubts?
No,
Okay, the last point to be noted. So this module has been scanned now. Your registration completed and continue. So I want to name this as success message. But If I name it as success message, again, people may not understand who are part of my team. My teammates may think this is some success message for login or this is some success message after adding to cart. So that is the reason every time if there is some confusion coming up with the module names, like this functional, so better keep a piped character and then include that particular functionality name. So I will just say user registration. So now they will clearly understand. Yeah, this is the success message we get when we are doing a user registration. Okay, so this is also one of the best practice. With this, I will stop today's session. Let us all meet again tomorrow and continue the class. Thank you all. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, Ramya.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks, Ramya.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Ramya. I have one doubt.
Gayatri, please stay on the line once.
Yeah.
And Aparna. Aparna.
Ramya.
1 second, please stay on.